3 months ago, I exposed the Watchtower's emergence plan to stop mass exodus from the organization. That video hit 28,000 views because you wanted more. Today, I'm bringing you evidence to show that that plan has failed. If you are new here, welcome to Tell Me Dr. K, a channel manipulative religious leaders wish you never discover. If you crave for such deep dives, subscribe and smash the notice bell so that you don't miss what is coming next. It's reported that more than 2 million Jehovah's Witnesses have left the organization in the last decade alone, 2015 to 2025. Thousands of elders are resigning. Kingdom halls are closing at an accelerated pace. And in their 2025 annual meeting, the governing body made an admission that has undermined over a century of their doctrine. This is not speculation. This is not a rumor. It is clear evidence of an organization in a crisis. They may appear like everything is okay, but evidence and what is coming from the governing body itself is a clear indication that the organization is in a crisis that they may not stop. In the next 12 minutes plus, I'm going to walk you through the membership collapse, infrastructure page, and the doctrinal surrender that proves that the Watchtower images plan to tame the exodus of members has failed. Let's examine the evidence. Evidence number 1, the membership collapse. Let me start with the most important statistic. Between 2015 and 2025, 2 million Jehovah's Witnesses members left the organization. In spite of this, the official reports show that the Watchtower has 8.8 million publishers. But when you analyze the official statistics, the numbers do not add up. In developed countries like the United States, Canada, Germany, Europe, and Australia, growth has either stagnated or declined. In November 2023, Watchtower made a significant policy change. They stopped requiring Jehovah's Witnesses to report their field ministry hours. For over 100 years, tracking ministry hours was the primary metric of faithfulness. Publishers reported their hours every month. Elders reviewed these reports. Pioneers had to maintain quotas. The official explanation was that this was to simplify reporting and reduce burden on publishers. When did any organization stop reporting its core performance metric because things were going very well? You stop tracking your most important metric because the figures are embarrassing. When the trend line is going in an opposite direction. When you don't want your members or outsiders to see that you are in a free fall. That's the reason why you would stop tracking your most important metric. And that's exactly what the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses has done. 2 million exodus is real, and the Watchtower knows it. Evidence number 2, elders' crisis. But the membership collapse is just part of the story. The leadership structure is collapsing. Thousands of elders have resigned in the United States alone in 2025. Not because they were disciplined, not because they sinned, not because they lost faith. They resigned because they were disillusioned, unwilling to enforce policies they no longer believed in. What's driving the exodus? First, mishandling of child abuse cases. Elders are on the front lines of these situations. They are the ones who receive reports. They are the ones who have followed the 2 witnesses rule. A policy that requires 2 witnesses to an act of abuse before action can be taken. And they are the ones who watch victims re-traumatized by a system that protects the organization over the vulnerable. Here is a clip.
A fiery death wasn't the only thing that scared Tricia. In fact, in a way, her own world had already ended. Since she was a child, she says, she had been abused by someone she should have been able to trust the most.
Can you talk to me about the kind of abuse that you suffered?
Sexual abuse from my father. The abuse started as soon as I was born until I was approximately 14 years old.
Eventually, Tricia found the courage to go to an elder herself when she was 12. Help is not what she found.
And I explained to him what was going on, and he said, I don't have any proof and I don't have any witnesses, so I need to respect my family and not to bring it up again.
You told an elder that your dad was sexually abusing you, and he said, show us the proof?
Mm-hmm. They put the onus on the victim to produce 2 credible eyewitnesses to their assault. And by credible eyewitnesses, they mean other Jehovah's Witnesses that saw it.
Many elders have had enough. Second, congregation measures. As kingdom halls close and congregations are made to consolidate, the remaining few elders are made to do more with less. One elder reported that he is now responsible for 2 congregations because there aren't enough qualified men to take up the responsibility. Think about that. The organization is in short of leadership, that elders are being asked to be responsible for more than one congregation, that individual elders are being stretched over multiple congregations. Third, cognitive dissonance. Elders are educated men. Many have professional careers. They read, they research, and they are increasingly recognizing that the policies they are made to enforce don't align with the Bible they believe they follow. So they walk away. Evidence number 3, demographic death spiral. Now let's talk about the demographic reality the Watchtower doesn't want to talk about. 23% of the current members of the Jehovah's Witnesses are over 65 years. Nearly a quarter of their membership is in retirement age or older. Why this matter? Because organizations survive through replacement of its members. You need younger people joining faster than old people are leaving the organization. And Watchtower is failing in youth retention, a very serious problem. Studies of second and third generation Jehovah's Witnesses show that retention in the organization have plummeted than never before. Young people who grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses are living in their late teens and early 20s. They are going to college. Despite decades of Watchtower discouraging higher education, they are getting careers. They are accessing information online, and they are making informed decisions to leave. Meanwhile, the aging membership base represents financial and operational crisis. Older members donate less. They require more pastoral care or stand on the literature card with the same intensity as they did before. And when they die, they are not being replaced. Do the math. If 23% of the membership is over 65 years and you are not replacing them quick enough with young people, and in addition, 67% of young people born to Jehovah's Witnesses families are living when they become young adults, according to Pew Research, what does the organization look like in 10 years' time or 20 years' time? It looks like a slow motion collapse. But membership numbers tell only half the story. The real collapse is happening in the infrastructure. The kingdom page. Evidence point number 4. 3,000 kingdom halls reported sold since 2015. 3,000. Let that sink in. These aren't just numbers. These are community centers. These are places where Jehovah's Witnesses gathered for decades, where they held meetings, where they celebrated marriages, where they conducted funerals, where they built their entire social lives.
So, Peter, let's hear from you next.
Well, when we informed everyone that the publishers were going to be redistributed to the north or south congregation, let's just say some struggled with the idea.
Paula, did you see? They have us going to the South congregation, and everybody else from our group is going to North.
Yeah, I saw that. My aunt and cousins will be going there too.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. They should keep you together. Well, at least the brothers said that the list was just a recommendation.
Well, they didn't say it exactly like that. They said if we had extenuating circumstances.
So you don't have to go if you don't want to go.
But Kim, if everyone did that, don't you think...
Hi, Sister Taylor.
Oh, hello, girls.
I saw your name on the list for the South congregation, but your grandkids and their families, they're going to North. So what are you going to do?
What do you mean?
Well, are you going to North or are you going to South?
Now, sweetie, didn't you say you saw my name listed under the South congregation?
Yeah, but...
So, I'll be going to the South congregation.
Well, don't you think it would make more sense if you were in the same congregation as your grandkids and their families?
Does it make more sense? Well, that's a whole different question. The brothers outlined an arrangement. They said they hoped we could support that arrangement, unless we had extenuating circumstances, and I don't have any right now. So, for me, it's simple. Whether I know all of the reasons or not, I'm going to support that arrangement. Oh, look, girls, I've got to go. Oh, and by the way, I hope to see you both in the South congregation.
Peter, you got a sec?
Here is what the process looks like. The organization announces that multiple congregations are being consolidated for efficiency. They tell members this is the better use of resources. They claim that this is part of the strategic plan to optimize global footprint. And here is the most critical detail. All proceeds go straight to Watchtower headquarters, not to the local congregation, not to members who donated to build the Kingdom Hall, to headquarters. Let me explain why this is significant. Most Kingdom Halls were built with members' donations. Members contributed money, sometimes substantial amounts, to construct these buildings. They were told this was supporting Jehovah's work in their community. Now Kingdom Halls are being sold, and members who paid for the building of these Kingdom Halls see none of the money. Instead, it disappears in the Watchtower central accounts. The comments on my original video tell the story. One person wrote, "My congregation donated $250,000 to build our Kingdom Hall. 20 years later, they sold it and merged us with another congregation 45 minutes away. We never saw a penny of that money." That's not optimization. That is asset liquidation. The evidence even gets more damning. Evidence point number 5. Forced congregation measures. The Kingdom Hall sales are directly tied to congregation measures, and these measures reveal the depth of the Watchtower's crisis. Here is a pattern. Watchtower identifies multiple congregations in a geographic area. They announce that these congregations will be consolidated into few Kingdom Halls. They claim this will create stronger, more vibrant congregations. Members who previously traveled for 10 minutes to their Kingdom Hall are now traveling 30, 45, even 60 minutes to reach the new consolidated location. This creates an additional problem. Elderly members who could walk to the Kingdom Hall can no longer attend meetings. Families with younger children face longer commutes on meeting nights. Studies of congregation measures show a clear pattern. 15 to 25% reduction in attendance within the first 1 year. Why? Because we've made it harder for people to attend meetings. You disrupted the established social networks. You've taken away a community feel that kept marginal members engaged. But the Watchtower doesn't care about attendance. They care about reducing operational costs. Fewer Kingdom Halls means lower utility bills, fewer maintenance expenses, fewer insurance premiums, and more real estate to sell. Members are told that this is about spiritual strength. The financial figures tell a different story. Evidence point number 6, Bethel service restructuring. Now let's talk about what is happening at the highest level of the organization, Bethel service. For over a century, service at Bethel, Watchtower's headquarters facilities, was considered a pinnacle of Jehovah's Witnesses' life. Young people applied to serve. They committed to lifelong service. They were told they were part of Jehovah's Witnesses' earthly organization at its highest level. In 2025, the Watchtower changed the rules. Bethel service is no longer a lifelong commitment. It's now structured as temporary assignments. Workers are now being taught they are serving for a specific period of time, sometimes just few months, and then they are reassigned back to their home congregations. The important question is, why change? The issue is this: because lifelong workers represent long-term financial commitments. Watchtower has to house them, feed them, provide medical care as they age, cover their expenses for decades. And remember, at one point, somebody reported that there were more than 3,000 Bethel workers at the old Brooklyn Tower. 3,000 to 4,000 long-term workers. Even if they were paid peanuts, it represented long-term financial commitments. By converting Bethel service to temporary assignments, Watchtower eliminates those long-term liabilities. They get the labor they need without a financial commitment. The infrastructure is collapsing. The leadership is resigning. The buildings are being sold. But none of this compares with what happened at 2025 annual meeting, the doctrinal surrender. Evidence point number 7, Armageddon delayed again. Perhaps you are saddened by the possibility that the end of this system will not come in your lifetime. That's it. The admission. They've been wrong again and again and again. 1914 wrong. 1925 wrong. 1975 wrong. Every generation told the end is near. Every generation told sacrifice for it. Now in 2025, sorry, maybe not in your lifetime. You were taught to give up school. You were taught to give your life to a cause without a retirement plan. And the answer is, we are imperfect. No apology, no restitution, just a shrug. Now, if you are not familiar with the Jehovah's Witnesses doctrine, let me explain why this matters. For over 100 years, they taught that Armageddon was imminent.
And the Watchtower under consideration today was entitled, Your Deliverance is Getting Near. And that's the theme from which our date text and comments were taken. And I'm sure you, like me, rejoice in the hope. You rejoice to think about the blessings that will come right after the Great Tribulation and Armageddon. How encouraging to know that the world, which to many seems out of control, is soon nearing its end. The grand finale is close. How close? Well, we all recall the stirring concluding talk at this year's regional convention. It summed it up in one word: imminent. The day and the hour for the judgment against this system of things has been on Jehovah's calendar for years. It's established. And as Habakkuk's prophecy indicates, there is a rushing toward that day.
Meaning it could happen anytime, right around the corner, coming in your lifetime itself.
And Jehovah's Witnesses believe in Armageddon, the final battle between God and all wicked humans. They believe it'll happen any day now.
Armageddon is a battle. It's a battle against the forces of darkness, and the only way to be saved is to actually follow Jehovah and adopt our interpretation of the Bible. That's essentially it.
They use these agents to motivate everything. The door-to-door preaching, the rejection of our education, the sacrifice of careers and families, the shunning of those who live. The message was clear: accept this, or you'll be destroyed forever at Armageddon. There is no second chance. Look at these quotations from their publications. 1975, there are only few years left before Armageddon. 1985, this generation will by no means pass away before Armageddon comes. 2010, the end is closer than ever before. Every single prediction was wrong, but they kept the agents alive because agents drives compliance. They've just removed the agents that has driven the organization for more than a century. It reminds me of what a young man, Tulani, in a drama said. Here is a clip.
Did you get a chance to read the links I sent you?
Of course I read it.
And?
It's exciting to think we could be so close.
And when you watch the news, you realize it could be any day now.
What's all the excitement?
The cry of peace and security.
Thanks again for sharing.
See you.
Tulani, remember Jesus said, no one knows the day or hour.
But he said we should keep on the watch.
I think it's great you keeping the end close in mind.
Because of you and Linda. Both of you have shown me how close we really are.
I have to take this quickly, but I'll see you on Friday. I saw what was happening in the world, and you both helped me put it all together.
We just want to be sure you are focused on the right things.
We can all start thinking too much about when the end will come.
But I'm just being alert. Isn't that what you taught me to do?
Alert is good.
And if the end is really so far off, why did I need to change my life now?
You are asking the right questions. There was a moment in our lives when we focused too much on the when rather than the why we were serving Jehovah. It affected our zeal, our happiness, our perspective. And we'd never want that for you.
This is the answer.
Since all these things are to be dissolved in this way, consider what sort of people you ought to be in holy acts of conduct and deeds of godly devotion.
We don't know when the end will come. Could be tomorrow. Could take a little longer. But what matters is the kind of person we are when it comes.
In part 2, I'm going to show you exactly why this admission destroys the entire authority structure. I'm going to walk you through the loyal demand that has backfired, the technology contradiction that exposed them, and the 4 specific reasons where the emergence plan has failed. I'm going to give you data-driven predictions as to what happens to this organization between now and 2035. The evidence even gets more damning. Subscribe and smash the notice bell for part 2. To watch the video that provides the details of the 2 million figure, click on this link.